friends, this is Emily from burlapkitchen.com, where I'm all about simplicity. Today we're going to be making a cute pumpkin flag using some raffia, a fabric bond hot glue stick, some orange material, some twine, some buffalo check material, a large button, and then this blank burlap flag that I bought on Amazon. I want to say I got a pack of 3 for between $10 and $13. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. So now I have this pumpkin that I bought at Dollar Tree last year and fixed up. I just pulled it out of my fall tote for this project. Dollar Tree has these wooden shapes for almost every holiday season. They're a great thing to buy and stock up on to keep as patterns. So I usually, when I buy them, normally I'll buy 2, one to fix up and then one to keep as a pattern, but for some reason I only bought one of these, but it's fine, we'll just use this one. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie and I'm just going to trace around my pumpkin. Now if you're an ironing person, I would definitely recommend ironing your material and your flag before you start, but I'm going to be honest, I hate to iron, so I just don't. Unless I absolutely have to, I will not iron. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this pumpkin out. And I did trace that with a Sharpie, but I would recommend a pen because my Sharpie did kind of bleed into the material on the other side. I mean, I'm going to flip it around so it's not going to be as noticeable, but I would do a pen because it did come through a little bit. I tried my best to snip it off, but I didn't want to get my pumpkin shaped goofy by keep snipping it down. So now I'm going to take my buffalo check material, and it is glued. The buffalo check material is glued to make it the length of my pumpkin. I only had like little short pieces of this buffalo check, and I really, really wanted to use it. So I just kind of matched up the lines and glued it to make it the length that I want. And now I'm going to take my Sharpie again, which again I should be using a pen, and I'm going to lay this material. I already drew this on, so I didn't screw it up for the video, but I'm just, where you see those dips in the pumpkin, I am just going to make a curved line to go down there to make the little, I don't even know what you call them, the little indents in the pumpkins. So now I'm going to cut that out. And I did cut this out a little bit goofy. I got it a little, you'll see when I go to put this on the pumpkin, I got it a little bit too skinny at the top. Sometimes when I'm making videos, I end up rushing a little bit and doing dumb stuff like that. So try to take a little more time than what I did on that one. You can see that where that top is a little bit goofy. But once we get our bow on there, you're not even going to notice. So I'm using fabric bond hot glue, and I'm just going to hot glue this right to the center of my pumpkin. And you do want to make sure you get the ends really good. That way it sticks down. I don't know, like it's going to be outside, so I don't know if the material will curl up or not. So you do want to make sure you have it glued down pretty good. And be careful you don't get big globs there at the end, because if this glue seeps out, it is white, so it will be noticeable. So I would go a little bit easier on the glue around the ends. Just enough to get it to stick, really. Okay, that's looking pretty good to me. I'm going to trim a little bit of this up just to get it to look right. And now I'm going to take my flag. Again, if you're an ironing person, definitely iron that wrinkle out. But I don't like to iron, so I don't. I'm going to lay my pumpkin down here on this flag. And then we're just going to hot glue it in place, again using the fabric bond hot glue. This is a great option if you don't like to sew or don't know how to sew, but if you're a person who loves to sew, you could definitely sew rather than using the fabric bond. I think that would be adorable to see the stitching going around the pumpkin. I can't sew, so fabric bond is the perfect option. The fabric bond hot glue is the perfect option for me. And again, I just want to make sure I get the ends all glued down very well, and I don't want anything seeping out, so we're going to be careful there on the ends with the glue. And we're just going to work our way around the pumpkin. Make sure everything's nice and secure to your blank burlap flag. And I'm just going to glue that buffalo check down quick and snip it. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to take, so on the live I used the buffalo check for the stem, but someone recommended using a stick. So I thought for this live I'd go ahead and use a stick so they could just see what that would look like too. And honestly, I love that just as much as I love the other one. I think they're both adorable. So either way you want to do that would be great. I'm going to take some raffia now and I'm going to fold it into a bow. This is how I make my raffia bows. I'm sure there's plenty other ways to do that, but I just kind of keep folding it into my hand there to form a little bow, and then I pinch it in the center, and now I'll just take a piece of twine to secure it. Okay, I'm just going to grab my twine and tie a knot here in the middle, just like that. And now I'm going to take another bundle of raffia, a longer one that I want to hang down, and I'm going to attach that to my bow. I'm sure there's other ways to do this. This is just how I like to do it. Make sure both your knots are both in the back too, so you don't have a knot in the front, which actually in this project it won't matter much because we're going to cover it up with a button. So I'm just going to hot glue this to the base of my stem. Make sure it's dry. The Fabric Bond hot glue does take a little bit longer to dry, in my opinion, than what the regular hot glue sticks take. Okay, once this is dry, I'm going to trim up this raffia here at the bottom to the length that I want it to be. And now I'm going to take this button, I have this really big black button, and I'm going to take that and just hot glue it to the center of the raffia. And if you noticed, I did switch to a regular hot glue stick for this just because the Fabric Bond is white and I didn't want that white seeping through the holes in the button. Here is the flag that we made on live using the buffalo check as the stem. I just wanted to show you guys real quick so you could see what it looked like. I actually remembered too, after I made this video, that a follower had said about using some twine to line the buffalo check fabric in the middle of the pumpkin. So I thought I'd jump back on real quick and show you guys how to do that. And I have to say, I am absolutely loving it. I think it's the perfect addition to this pumpkin. So I'm using just a regular hot glue stick for this one too, just because I didn't want the white from the Fabric Bond to seep out. I'm hoping it'll hold up. We'll see. Okay, I'm just going to trim that twine there at the bottom, and then I'm going to go and line the other side. In the photo, you'll see I went around the, in the final photo, I went around the bottom too. Actually, after going back and looking at it, I think I preferred how I did it in this video better than adding it to the bottom, but at least that way you can see a couple different ways and you can decide how you'd like to do your own flag. Okay, I'm just going to trim that. And that is it, guys. Look how cute this flag looks in the front yard. Isn't this just adorable? For more cute ideas just like this one, please visit burlapkitchen.com. Thank you.